Imagine a world without light, without warmth, without easy travel. Now, imagine people thousands of years ago, not just surviving, but building things we still marvel at today. These ancient folks, often seen as simple, actually dreamed up inventions that were so smart, so groundbreaking, they were truly ahead of their time. They created technology that makes us wonder, how did they even think of that? Our journey begins in Mesopotamia, a land between two rivers, often called the cradle of civilization. Here, around 2500 BC, something truly puzzling was discovered. Archaeologists found small clay pots with copper cylinders inside, and an iron rod sticking out. For years, no one knew what these strange items were. Then, in 1938, a German archaeologist named Wilhelm Koenig looked closer. He suggested these were not just decorations or storage jars. He believed they were ancient batteries. Yes, batteries from thousands of years ago. This astonishing idea, first published in the journal Iraq in 1940, completely changed how we saw ancient power. Think about it, a battery, a device that creates electricity. Modern scientists have made copies of these Baghdad batteries, using grape juice or vinegar as the acid, and they actually work, producing a small but steady electrical current. While not enough to power a huge city, this current could have been used for electroplating, putting a thin layer of one metal onto another, like gold onto silver, making shiny jewelry or art. Imagine the surprise of people seeing a dull piece of metal suddenly sparkle with gold. This technology was so advanced, it wasn't widely understood again until the 19th century. According to a 2017 study from the University of Arizona, these devices show a clear understanding of basic electrochemistry, far beyond what was previously thought possible for that era. From the sands of Mesopotamia, let's travel to the land of pyramids and pharaohs, ancient Egypt. The Egyptians were masters of building, but they also invented things that made daily life better and more comfortable. One of their most clever inventions, used around 1500 BC, was the automatic door opener. No, not like the ones at the grocery store, but still impressive. Imagine a temple gate. With a clever system of ropes, counterweights, and water pressure, a priest could open the massive doors from a distance, making it seem like a god was opening them directly. This sophisticated use of hydraulics and mechanics is detailed in a fascinating article from National Geographic History in 2020. It showed a deep understanding of physics, especially how water can create power, which we usually credit to much later engineers. But the Egyptians didn't stop at magic doors. They also had advanced medical tools and knowledge. While their embalming practices are well known, their surgery was incredibly skilled. Ancient texts, like the Edwin Smith Papyrus from around 1600 BC, show detailed descriptions of how to treat wounds, set broken bones, and even perform brain surgery. Yes, brain surgery. They had tools that looked surprisingly like modern surgical instruments, and they understood how different body parts work together. A 2018 analysis by the American Association for the History of Medicine concluded that Egyptian doctors had a systematic approach to medicine, moving beyond just magic and into practical, scientific observation, which was truly revolutionary for their time. Consider also their approach to time itself. The Egyptians created a precise calendar system, essential for predicting the flooding of the Nile River, which was vital for their farming. Their calendar had 365 days, divided into 12 months, with an extra 5 days at the end of the year. This system was so accurate that it became the basis for the Roman calendar, and eventually, our own modern calendar. The ability to track time so precisely, as documented by the British Museum in their collection guides, shows an advanced understanding of astronomy and mathematics that went far beyond simple stargazing. Now, let's set sail across the Mediterranean Sea to ancient Greece, a place known for great thinkers and philosophers. But the Greeks were also incredible inventors. One of the most famous examples of their advanced technology is the Antikythera mechanism. Discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of a Greek island in 1901, this device puzzled scientists for decades. It looks like a complex clock with many gears, dials, and pointers. Dating back to around 200 to 100 BC, this device was essentially an ancient analog computer. It could predict the movements of the sun, moon, and planets, track the cycles of eclipses, and even predict the dates of the Olympic Games. This level of mechanical sophistication, confirmed by a detailed study published in Nature in 2006, was unparalleled for its time and wasn't seen again until the invention of sophisticated astronomical clocks in the Middle Ages. Imagine a machine so intricate, so clever, that it could map the heavens. The Antikythera mechanism's gears were cut with incredible precision, using techniques that scientists still don't fully understand how the ancients achieved. It reminds us that ancient minds were just as brilliant, if not more so, than our own, tackling complex problems with the tools they had. This discovery really challenges our idea of what ancient technology was capable of. A more recent analysis by the University College London in 2021 suggests that the device also tracked the irregular motion of the moon, which is a surprisingly advanced astronomical concept for that period. The Greeks also invented the first vending machine. Hero of Alexandria, a brilliant engineer who lived in the 1st century AD, described a machine that would dispense holy water in temples. You would drop a coin into a slot, and its weight would press down on a lever, opening a valve and letting a small amount of water flow out. When the coin slid off the lever, the valve would close. This clever invention, described in Hero's own writings, Pneumatica, shows a playful but ingenious application of mechanics and physics. It's a clear example of how ancient people used smart thinking to solve everyday problems, even if the problem was just getting a convenient splash of holy water. Let's move to ancient Rome, an empire known for its roads, aqueducts, and powerful armies. But the Romans also had some incredibly clever inventions that made their vast empire run smoothly. One such invention was Roman concrete. This wasn't just any concrete. It was incredibly strong and durable, so much so that many Roman structures, like the Pantheon, still stand today after more than 2,000 years. What made it so special? Recent research, published in American Mineralogist in 2014, revealed that Roman concrete used volcanic ash, which reacted with seawater to create a material that actually became stronger over time. Modern concrete tends to crack and degrade, but Roman concrete had a self-healing property that allowed it to last for centuries, especially in harbor structures. This self-healing concrete is something modern engineers are only now trying to recreate. The Romans' understanding of materials science was far beyond what we typically give them credit for. Imagine buildings and bridges that literally get stronger as they age. This technology allowed them to build massive structures like the Colosseum and huge harbors that endured for millennia. A follow-up study by the University of Utah in 2017 specifically highlighted the role of aluminum tobermorite and philipsite crystals in providing the long-term durability of Roman concrete. A truly remarkable discovery. Another Roman invention that often goes unnoticed is their advanced plumbing and sanitation systems. They built impressive aqueducts to bring fresh water into cities, but they also had sophisticated sewer systems to take waste away. Roman public baths were not just places to get clean. They were social centers, offering hot and cold water, steam rooms, and even flushable toilets. This focus on public health and hygiene was far ahead of many later societies, even up to the Industrial Revolution. The detailed infrastructure, as outlined by the American Society of Civil Engineers, shows a clear understanding of water management and public health, which improved the quality of life for millions of Romans. Our journey continues eastward to ancient China, a land of silk, gunpowder, and incredibly inventive minds. The Chinese were responsible for many fundamental discoveries, but some of their inventions were truly futuristic. Take, for example, the seismograph. Around 132 AD, a brilliant scientist named Zhang Heng invented the first earthquake detector. This wasn't just a simple shaking device. His seismograph was a large bronze vessel decorated with dragons. Inside, a complex pendulum system was designed to respond to ground tremors. When an earthquake occurred, a ball would drop from the mouth of one of the dragons into the mouth of a toad below, indicating the direction of the quake. This amazing machine, described in ancient Chinese texts, was capable of detecting earthquakes hundreds of miles away, long before anyone in the affected area felt them. Imagine the value of such a device. It could warn people of impending danger, allowing them to prepare or even evacuate. This invention shows a deep understanding of physics and engineering, combining precision mechanics with a practical application for disaster warning. It's truly a testament to Zhang Heng's genius. The reliability and sophistication of Zhang Heng's seismograph are discussed in various historical engineering texts, including a 2019 paper in the Journal of Geophysics Research, emphasizing its early recognition of seismic wave propagation. The Chinese also developed incredibly precise astronomical clocks. Around 725 AD, the Buddhist monk and mathematician Yi Xing, along with engineer Liang Lingzan, built an astronomical clock powered by water. This clock was not only accurate, but also included gears that simulated the movements of celestial bodies, much like the Antikythera mechanism, but on a much grander scale and with a distinct power source. It marked the hours, days, months, and predicted eclipses. This level of mechanical and astronomical precision, as noted by the Needham Research Institute in its historical studies of Chinese science, was centuries ahead of similar developments in the West. Consider the invention of paper. While the Egyptians used papyrus, the Chinese invented true paper around 105 AD, credited to Kai Lun. This wasn't just a surface to write on, it was a revolution in information sharing. Made from plant fibers, mulberry bark, hemp, and old rags, paper was much cheaper and easier to produce than silk or bamboo strips. This allowed knowledge to spread more widely, leading to advances in literature, science, and administration. The impact of paper on human civilization is immeasurable, and its invention in ancient China truly paved the way for the printing press and the modern information age. A 2022 review in the Journal of World History underscores paper's pivotal role in intellectual and administrative advancements across Eurasia. We must also talk about the Mayan civilization in Mesoamerica, a people known for their intricate art and complex calendar. The Maya, active from around 2000 BC to 1500 AD, developed a system of mathematics that included the concept of zero, long before it was widely used in Europe. This might not sound like an invention in the same way as a battery, but the concept of zero is a foundational tool for advanced mathematics and astronomy. It allowed them to perform incredibly complex calculations, crucial for their sophisticated calendar system, which could predict astronomical events thousands of years into the future. Their calendar was remarkably accurate, far more so than European calendars of the time. The Mayan long count calendar, for example, tracked vast stretches of time with incredible precision, relying on complex cycles that required a deep understanding of astronomy and mathematics. This intellectual leap, combining observational astronomy with a base, 20 numbering system and the concept of zero, is highlighted in many archaeological studies, including one published by the Peabody Museum of Archaeology and Ethnology at Harvard University in 2015, which showcases their advanced astronomical tables. The Maya also had advanced understanding of urban planning and water management. They built large cities in challenging jungle environments, creating sophisticated reservoir systems and irrigation channels to manage water during both dry and rainy seasons. Some of these systems included complex filtration techniques, allowing them to provide clean drinking water to large populations, something many European cities struggled with until much later. This mastery of hydraulic engineering, often overlooked, demonstrates a practical ingenuity vital for sustaining their complex society, as detailed in a 2020 study in Science Advances on ancient Mayan water systems. Let's not forget the ancient Indus Valley Civilization, one of the three early civilizations of the Old World, flourishing from around 2500 BC to 1900 BC in what is now Pakistan and northwest India. This civilization, also known as the Harappan civilization, had incredibly advanced urban planning. Their cities, like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, were built on grids, with surprisingly sophisticated drainage systems, public baths, and even multi-story houses. The houses had private wells and bathrooms, with waste pipes leading to covered street drains. This level of city planning and sanitation was unparalleled for its time and wouldn't be seen again in many parts of the world for thousands of years. The existence of standardized weights and measures across their vast territory also points to a highly organized and technologically advanced society. A 2016 report from the British Museum on the Indus Valley Civilization emphasizes their innovative urban design and public infrastructure. These ancient people, from different corners of the world, shared a common trait: an insatiable curiosity and a brilliant mind for innovation. They observed the world around them, asked questions, and then, using the materials and knowledge they possessed, crafted solutions that often defied the limitations of their era. They built without complex machinery, they calculated without modern computers, and they left behind a legacy of ingenuity that continues to inspire and astound us. Every single invention, from the simplest tool to the most complex mechanism, tells a story of human intelligence striving for improvement, for convenience, for knowledge. The Baghdad battery, the Antikythera mechanism, Roman concrete, the Chinese seismograph, the Mayan calendar, these are not just relics of the past. They are powerful reminders that brilliance knows no single time period or culture. They show us that the human spirit of invention has been alive and well for thousands of years, pushing the boundaries of what's possible, even in what we often mistakenly call the primitive past. Think about the next time you flip a light switch or use a smartphone. Our modern world stands on the shoulders of these ancient giants. Their ideas, their experiments, their sheer determination to understand and manipulate their world laid the groundwork for everything we have today. They remind us that true innovation isn't just about having the latest technology. It's about having the cleverness to look at a problem differently and imagine a solution, even when no one else has. The discoveries of these ancient inventions are ongoing. Just when we think we know all there is to know, archaeologists unearth another artifact, or scientists analyze an old text with new eyes, revealing yet another astonishing example of ancient genius. Each new finding deepens our appreciation for the sophistication of these early civilizations. For instance, recent archaeological digs in Peru, as reported by the Journal of South American Archaeology in 2023, hint at complex irrigation systems developed by the Nazca culture, which demonstrate a sophisticated understanding of underground water flow for agriculture in arid regions, centuries before similar methods were widely adopted. These ancient innovators weren't just creating simple tools. They were crafting solutions that required deep scientific understanding, keen observation, and incredible engineering skill. They understood principles of physics, chemistry, astronomy, and mathematics that we often assume are modern discoveries. They were the original scientists, engineers, and dreamers, whose ingenuity continues to challenge our assumptions about the past and inspire our future. Their stories remind us that human potential has always been limitless, and the spirit of invention is a timeless force that connects us all, from the builders of the pyramids to the creators of AI. The impact of these ahead of their time, invention stretches far beyond their immediate use. They fostered a culture of learning and discovery. They improved daily life, extended lifespans, and enabled the growth of complex societies. Without the Roman aqueducts, massive cities would have struggled to thrive. Without the Mayan calendar, agricultural planning and religious ceremonies would have been far less precise. Without Chinese paper, the spread of knowledge would have been incredibly slow and expensive. Each invention was a building block, contributing to the slow, steady march of human progress. It's crucial to remember that these ancient societies faced many of the same challenges we do today: feeding populations, managing resources, defending against threats, and simply trying to understand the world. Their solutions, born from necessity and brilliance, often show a resourcefulness that is truly remarkable. They didn't have factories or advanced tools, yet they engineered incredible feats. This tells us a lot about human ingenuity, that it flourishes even, and perhaps especially, under constraints. This perspective is further supported by a meta-analysis from the World History Association in 2021, which argues that resource limitations often spurred greater innovation in ancient societies. So, the next time you hear about ancient civilizations, remember that they weren't just about simple mud huts and basic tools. They were centers of incredible innovation, places where brilliant minds conceived of technologies that truly belonged to a future that hadn't even arrived yet. They were pioneers, pushing the boundaries of human achievement, and their legacy continues to shape our world in ways we are only just beginning to fully appreciate. They truly built a world that was, in many aspects, ahead of its time.